I'm Patrick Bailey with whiteboardcoder.com. Today is September 11th, 2021, and this video I'm going to be showing how I'm going to reinforce the back of my metal window well cover. The idea being that I have a long expanse on the back of my window well cover, and it's such a long expanse that if I go stand on it, which normally you're not going to do, it will bow a little bit. It's totally okay, totally safe, but I would rather have that solid in the back and have some kind of support so the whole thing feels solid and feels a little more secure. Again, strong enough, but I would like that a little stronger and that feeling of security. So with that, let me go over some of the tools we're using. Okay, we'll go through these real quick. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm having a 4-foot aluminum angle bar that I'm going to put down there and screw into the concrete. I'm choosing aluminum because it's not going to rust. So here's what I bought at Home Depot, and I'll put direct links in the show notes to this. Also, I did buy this Tapcon Concrete screw anchors, which I've used in the past before to screw things into my concrete. I like them. They work pretty well. I also like this package because my current concrete drill was kind of wearing out, and this one just comes with a concrete drill, which you can buy separately, but this was a total package, so I got it. And also with this, I'll be using my Dewalt 20-volt max XR hammer drill kit, number DCD 996P2, which I like this hammer drill. And you really, if you're going to drill into concrete, you really want that hammer drill, because otherwise it's going to be pretty ineffective to get the job done. Anyway, so those are the tools I'm using. Another really quick shout out is the people who built my window well. I went around trying to find one that I would like, because this is not a picture of my property, but this is what I wanted. And it's similar to my window well, and you'll see it here soon enough. And this is kind of what I wanted. I wanted a escape hatch, I wanted it metal, I wanted it strong and robust, and I wanted it kind of, flush like that. Searching around the internet, this is the only picture I found where someone had a good example who built window wells locally. So I'll give them a shout out. They've done a good job for me. I've gotten 3 window wells from them so far. And they happen to be flat iron window well covers from flatironwellcovers.com. They're not paying me. This is not a thing. They did a good job, so shout out to them. If you live in the Denver metro area and this is something you want, give them a call. Very happy with what they did. It's, this kind of metal covering, it's not cheap, but I think it's going to last a lifetime. Okay, with that, let's get to the job. Okay, I just want to show real quick. So what I am doing, let me get this over here. Okay, so here's this box that I bought of all these concrete screws, and here's just one to show. And this one came with a drill bit, so it's going to be nice for me to drill into here. So the idea, what I'm doing is setting up right now, I'm setting up this L bracket, so I drew a line, and I drew a bunch, and then I've been cutting little holes. I'll cut another one here real quick. And I'm using, what am I using? Quarter inch. Using a 1/4 inch drill on this guy. And I'm putting too many in because I did find out last time I was drilling in, and not for certain either I hit a bad bit of concrete or I was hitting rebar. And I'm not going to cut through rebar. I had to go make another hole. So I've actually done twice as many holes. So I'm really I want to do that hole, but I cut another one. I want to do that one, but I did another one. So I did twice the hole, so if one doesn't work out, I'll do the other one. And the idea is, I'll put that up there and get that in. So real simple. It's aluminum, so it, cuts easy. So if I go here and I'll just drill. Okay, so I'll drill that, get that ready, and then we'll go on to the next step. Okay, so here's one that I did before. And as you can see, I have a pretty wide expanse here. It's well over 4 feet. And if I go to the back here, I've got that support, and if you see me, as an example, jump up and down, there's no deflection. So that's what I'm going for. You don't need it. This is more than strong enough. It's just I would prefer to have that. It just makes me feel more comfortable. Get it done. Let me go to the one where I haven't done it yet. Just show the difference. And so you can see this is what? 67-inch expanse. So, what is that? A little over 5 feet, 5.5 feet expanse, so pretty wide. If I go back to the back and I just hop up and down, now it's not going to break, but it doesn't make me feel particularly good knowing people are going to run across it over time. It's just, I'd rather just have it stable and solid. So with that, we can get work on it. Okay, this is the part of the video where I have to put I need to put a little snippet before I actually get to the work, because I learned something at the end. So I was being a little dumb. So at some point you'll see me, I'll go down here and mark with a blue line. And then once I start drilling, I'll actually try to level it. Well, that's dumb. What happens if this is not level? You might as well just follow the blue line, because the idea is I want to put a back support here. It doesn't need to be level. It needs to be straight with however this is. So if one side's higher, that's fine. Make one side higher. I should not have done that. However, what I did, it works. As you'll see, it's good enough. But mark that line, and I would say go maybe just a little bit above that line when you do it, compared to what I did, and it'll be better. The one I did before is solid and nice. This one, I got a little more give to it, but not much. It's not too bad. But that's my advice as you watch me make my mistakes the rest of this video and go, don't do that. Well, lesson learned. Okay, so first start off, we got our special drill for drilling concrete that came in that box. And what I'm going to do, for the one, I'm going to drill one in here to kind of get it set. And what I'm going to do, I'm not too concerned about being level at this moment. I'm just going to line it up with that line as best I can. And then just hit one of the center ones here. Oh, and also, there's a hammer drill. And if you see that selection there, it looks like a Thor's hammer or something. That's what you want if you're drilling concrete, because what it's going to do is it actually reciprocates. It goes back and forth super fast. You'll hear it makes a funny noise, because it's actually drilling and hitting it. Okay, so now that I got it started, I can take that down and we can really get a good one. Okay, now with this, make sure you're drilling deep enough. You know, measure your anchor bolts and make sure you're going deep enough, and you should be good. So I got that, so I'm going to do, now that I got the one in there, go back to here, put this in, and this can take a little bit of torque to get this done. So I got a socket wrench and I have a, what do I have? 5/16 for this particular one. So I'm just going to get it going. And you're going to need some muscle to do this at some parts, so it's not, take your time.
Well, why don't you use a drill for that?
Yeah, I like to have more control. Yeah, you could use I could attach something to my drill to do this, but I just want more control, more power. So it's up to you. I just prefer the control. I'm a control freak, right? Okay. So don't belabor it too much here. Let's pause here and we'll get to the next section here. It's a long. Okay, so now for the next step, I want to hit that blue line. I got that snug, so I can snug, but I can move. I want to hit that blue line, but I'm also more concerned about being even, getting that level. So you can see I might not be perfect on my blue line overall, but I'm level, so I should be good. So I'll choose another point out here for my second point. Now if you feel like you're hitting something, you're not getting any advance, that's why I made a second hole. Start with a second hole. So some of these might not work out, and I'll just hit the second hole. That might be one of them. But when you're so close, you got to fight it. Now one thing you can do is you can hit the drill holes, pull this all down, take it apart, and do them further. Me, I'm lazy, so I'm going to leave this up. But as you see, I'm starting to hit the aluminum here. So I have these marks, which I'm not too concerned about. Well, I think that's an example of me hitting something. Okay, so I'm going to give up on that one and go to the brother sitting next to it. Make sure I'm level. Oh, I was a little high there, wasn't I? All right. Or sometimes you might just hit 2 things in a row. Okay. Let me go out further, I guess. That one's, might be able to come back to it and fix it, but it's being a bugger. Okay, I need to work that a little more. Okay, I'll work it a little more off camera, but you get the idea. I got to drill those in, and then what I'll do is once I get the second one drilled in nicely, I'll put the second bolt in, measure it, make sure it's okay. I'm pretty confident what I'm doing right now, but if you're not, get the second bolt in, put everything back, test it, make sure it's working like you think, and then come back and then do the other ones and get them screwed in. So it's going to take a while. Okay, so the last one I did yesterday that I did not record, that one went pretty smoothly. This one, not so much. So I kept hitting things. I had to go, you know, even over here, I had a double engine fun. Just remember to be careful and give it a break. I was.
You're okay.
Puppy interruption. Okay, but just remember to be careful and give it a break when you're doing much of this. You know, these, even though the Dewalt, this is a nice pro tool, it's not an industrial tool. So you don't want to, you can't really go here and just drill concrete after concrete drill after concrete drill and expect it to be okay. You can do 2, 3, or 4, it's going to survive just fine. Interruption. But in this case, I kind of got frustrated. I kept pushing it, so I was getting hotter and hotter, and I kind of said, whatever, I'm going to push through. And I got it too hot, I got the drill bit too hot, and snapped it. So my drill bit is actually in here somewhere in one of my drills, so that was not fun. That's one thing. And also another thing that can happen, I snapped one of these off.
Oh.
So I got a drill stuck in here. I might see these reversed, but the other one I went, and I was like, okay, cool. I drilled this one, put this in, snapped it off. So I messed both those up, so I had to go drill another one, which didn't behave with me either. So I finally drilled another one, so now I'm good. Now, in truth, I'm overkilling this. You don't have to use all your drill points. I think if you did one on the outside, one in the middle, and one on the other side, you're probably more than okay. But I like to overdo things. But I had some issues here, so like I gave up on these 2. So I just have one, and I gave up on these 2 too. The other one on the other side did pretty good. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on my other side. This one I ended up with 4, so we'll be okay. Okay, so now on my last one, you know, the crusher wrench worked just fine. It was a little bit of a chore, but this one I decided to try something different. So I did go get this 5/16, you know, socket thing that I have for my Dewalt screwdriver drill, and it worked pretty good. I'm actually, it's easier than the wrench. This actually worked pretty good. The only thing, if you do this with this particular guy, you want to go over from the hammer drill to the drill. If you go to the drill, there's no torque settings. So, but if you go to one of these numbers ones, it will, you know, release because it'll do too much torque. That one you can do as much torque as you want in theory. And also, you want to go from 3rd gear down to 1st gear. We're good with going slow if you have this particular guy. So now, going slow. Yeah, way nicer than the crescent wrench. The crescent wrench worked, but yeah, it was tending to fall off, and so I should have done it with this in the first place. So this is way better, so yeah, way to go. So now, in theory, we're good. Let me see if I can get this going. Let me get this stuff out of the way, and we'll just slowly put this on. Now, in my case, I'm unique. I have this brickwork here, so I have to kind of slide it in. Otherwise, it's going to hit that. So we will try not to hurt ourselves here. Yeah, go slow, don't hurt yourself, right? See, I'm kind of going in and down And now I can go out there. See, there's a little bit of room there before it hits. I mean, I'm not tied up against there, so I'm not ideal. But still, I'm going to hit that pretty quickly. And yeah, there you go. So makes me feel good when I jump on it, right? So this one from the top. Now, there's a little more of a gap than I'd like to be. In fact, now that I think about it, the other ones I did a better job on, of course. I could have gone a little higher with this, and I think it would have been just fine. But here you can see there's a little gap there, which I wish I was done a better job. So maybe aim high. Oh, let me try. But now, once I put pressure on it, it's hitting, you know. So now once there's weight on it, nothing. So way better. So I feel a lot better about that. Had I to redo this one, I think I would have marked my line and gone a little higher, which I think I effectively do in the other ones. I don't have that gap in the other one. But yeah, learn from me, aim a little higher. That's the only thing I think I can say. Otherwise, I'm not going to redo it. It's more than fine for our purposes. And again, it's not needed structurally. You're okay. But I'd like that. So there you go. Done deal. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please give it a like. To subscribe, just click the subscribe button. Also, you can follow me on Twitter under the handle @whiteboardcoder.com. View any code I may have thrown up as a gist at GitHub under the username PatmanDenver, or check out my blog site at whiteboardcoder.com.